Hey everyone, so I want to show you how we can find the volume of prisms. Okay, now prisms are going to be shapes like cubes, cylinders, and triangular prisms, which I kind of call like tent-like shapes. Okay, now what makes something a prism? Well, something's a prism if it has two congruent bases which are parallel, okay, to each other. So like a square on top, a square on the bottom, with parallelograms going around the sides there. Okay, so like a cylinder has a circle on the bottom and a circle on the top, and it's surrounded by a parallelogram. It's just a rectangular piece of paper really wrapped around, and so forth and so forth. So let's take a look at a cube here, and let's kind of just think about what volume really is. So volume is going to be how much space an object has inside of it. Okay, so the amount of space available. That's what we're really trying to find. Well, if we think about a cube here, okay, if you look, you see how your base shape there, okay, which I'm going to do on the bottom, is just a square? Well, if you think about this, the whole cube is just made up of a bunch of squares stacked on top of each other. Okay, so we're taking these squares here, and we're just stacking them, up and down to fill up that entire thing. So if we're trying to find the volume of a cube, what we're actually going to do is take the area of a square. Okay, so the area of a square, remember, is length times width. So area of a square or rectangle is length times width. Okay, that's how we find area. So if I'm taking the volume, what I want to do is figure out how many of those squares stack up in here. So I'm going to take this length and that width, and I'm going to multiply it by the height, because I want to see how high I can stack them. How many can I fit going up and down here? So the volume of a cube is length times width times height, because it's just the area of the base times the height. Okay, let's look at a cylinder here. Okay, so again, a cylinder, you could see the base shape is this circle. And if we think about this, to fill up a cylinder is just composed of a bunch of these circles just stacked on top of each other going up and down. So if I'm trying to figure out the volume of a cylinder, well, we need to start by doing the area of a circle. Okay. And remember, if you have a circle with a radius of r, the area of a circle is pi r squared. So I'm taking, again, that area of this circle here, and I'm stacking it up and down. So I'm going to multiply it by the height to see how high I can stack those circles. So the volume of a cylinder is just the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. And again, you just multiply it by the height. All right, and then lastly here, we have these triangular prisms, which I call like tents. Okay, and you can see them like two different ways here. Again, though, these shapes are all composed of just triangles. Okay, so we're taking a triangle here, and this one a right triangle. And again, I'm taking the area of this triangle, and I want to see if I stack them, up and down, how high can I stack these triangles? Well, remember, for a triangle, okay, with a base and a height here, the area is half the base times the height. So if I'm finding the volume of a triangular prism here, we're going to take the area of that triangle that I filled in there, which is half the base times the height, okay, and we're going to multiply it by the height of my entire prism here. So times it by the big H. Okay, so we take the base times the height inside, okay, times it by the large height on the outside. And this is more commonly why we write volume of prisms as BH, where we say B is the area of the base, and that H we call is the height of the prism. Okay, but that's all you do. So for any shape that's just a prism, you're really just taking the area of the base and multiplying by the height. So if it's a triangle, take the area of a triangle, multiply it by the height. If it's a cylinder, take the area of a circle times the height. Area of a circle, B times H. Okay. And then if it's a cube, again, you're taking the area of the base times the height. So for any kind of prism shape, the volume is always the area of the base times the height.